And we're back. 5:43 is the time. We want to show you this. Take a look here. You're looking at the new section of the Bay Bridge the drivers are going to be using as a detour. It should last about 3 or 4 years, and as Mark Jones is about to show you, he was the first reporter to stand on that new section, which hasn't even been paved yet. He gives us a tour.
Well, we're traveling up about 150 feet onto the deck of the detour structure that we're about to put traffic onto. Well, you're going to be on the piece that slides. And I can't stress enough that we've got to be extremely careful.
With hundreds of cars right above my head, I had to crawl on my hands and knees over and under girders to get you these exclusive pictures.
On the far right, we have the existing bridge that traffic's running on right now. In the middle, we have our new temporary detour structure that traffic will be on after Labor Day. And all the way to the left, we have the piece that we have to slide in to make that connection.
This whole thing is amazing. This giant section of the detour bridge has never been walked on before by a member of the media, and this whole thing is going to literally be moved Labor Day weekend. They'll tear out the old section and then move the football-length, double-decker new section using rails, kind of like a railroad, only these rails are a football field apart.
And then that same jacking system that we used back Labor Day 2007 will be engaged again to lift the structure up and slide on those Teflon pads literally on this rail and the rail over there.
When they're finished, your commute will change for 4 years, as you can see in this animation.
It's not like what we've driven on before. When you're coming into the city, coming out of the overhead steel structure, you're going to be veering to the left on an S-curve that takes you back into the tunnel, and coming eastbound through the tunnel, you're going to be veering off to the right. And you're doing that coming through a tunnel, so it's a little bit dark, and that's why speeds are being reduced 10 miles per hour from 50 miles per hour to 40.
On the Bay Bridge, Mark Jones, Kron 4 News.
Wow, that was a great piece by Mark Jones. Give us a real up-close look at what they're doing there. George Rass standing by in the traffic center right now. And George, we were talking about it a little bit before the piece ran, that I don't think they've ever done something quite this large before.
Certainly nothing on this scale, James. It's never, they've never tried to do anything where they've slid a prefabricated piece of this size this high in the air, because don't forget, this is all taking place 150 feet in the air. The only thing Mark Jones didn't do, and that was a great piece, was tilt his camera down from where he was standing to show that this is all taking place several stories high, and it really is quite an engineering marvel. In fact, this whole project has been the west approach, the refitting of the and retrofitting of the west approach of the bridge, and then of course the new self-anchored suspension span, which by the way means it's only one cable. It runs on both sides, but it's only one cable, whereas all the other suspension bridges in the Bay Area have two separate cable systems. This one goes out and comes back and anchors in the same location. Going to be quite a remarkable feat of engineering, and you'll find out all about it right here on Kron 4. We're already drawing up our coverage plans for Labor Day weekend, and you'll find out more about what's happening at the Bay Bridge on our station than you will any other. Okay, let's start you with the Bay Bridge. Find out more about how weather might impact you today. Here's Evelyn Tapp.
It sure can, George. In fact, I lost traction this morning. Our warmest day of the week before we gradually cool it down into Thursday. James?
All right, thank you very much, Evelyn. Now at 5:50, another story for you. New this morning, they'll be starting another spacewalk here momentarily. Actually, at about, I think it was, what, 7 our time? Yeah, 7 our time, they're going to begin spacewalk number 4 here aboard the International Space Station. They're going to be swapping out some new batteries, just like they did on Wednesday. The only difference is this time around, astronaut Christopher Cassidy, who did Wednesday's spacewalk, which this video is from, he'll actually have to move slower today. That's the order from Mission Control. Move slower. He was moving so fast on Wednesday that and was expelling so much carbon dioxide while he was moving that the scrubbers in his spacesuit were having a hard time keeping up. So they had rising carbon dioxide levels in his suit. So today they're telling him, he's an ex-Navy SEAL, he's used to moving fast, but they're telling him, slow down, take your time, breathe slowly, and the spacesuit will be able to keep up with you. So kind of an interesting note coming out of NASA this morning. Today, of course, as I said, will be their 4th spacewalk. They'll be swapping out the remaining set of batteries that they didn't get to swap out on Wednesday. So we'll be tracking it once they begin to do that live. We'll share some of the images with you as they come down from NASA TV. All right, 5:51 is the time. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Let's go outside, give you a live look here from our roof camera where we can see San Francisco City Hall there. Beautiful dome, a lot of fog too. Don't worry, it'll warm up. We'll have some nice temperatures this afternoon. And we're back, 5:54 the time. A quick look at your 7-day forecast here. So far, actually, it's pretty good. Today will probably be the coolest day, though, of the weekend. I like to count Friday as part of the weekend. 86 degrees inland, 65 along the bay, 60 along the coast, and then you can see things warm up a few degrees, especially inland. We're back up to 90, then 95 by Sunday. And then we kind of hold that pattern for the rest of the 7-day outlook here. So actually, it's pretty normal, pretty typical for this time of year. But we'll get a full breakdown of the forecast with Evelyn coming up in just a little bit. But for now, though, take a look at some of this video here. There'll be an event this weekend to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon mission. You're looking at file footage of the USS Hornet. Yeah, the one right here in the Bay Area. It was involved in recovering the Apollo 11 capsule from the Pacific Ocean. Splashdown 2009 will be held, as we said, on the Hornet in Alameda this weekend. Buzz Aldrin will be there. He was the second man to step foot on the moon. He'll be giving a presentation. As we said, the USS Hornet recovered Aldrin and the other two from the Apollo 11 capsule. The astronauts plucked from the ocean there back on July 20th, 1969, after they returned to Earth from their first lunar landing. 3-day festival. Actually begins today. It'll include Apollo exhibits, book signings. If you love space and you love the moon missions, you got to head there. They've got a bunch of stuff there for you to enjoy. All right, 5:56 the time. We're going to take our break now. We'll be back though at the top of the hour with the latest on your forecast and also the commute this morning. Hopefully it'll stay nice and light. Also, following the latest with the budget out of Sacramento, we'll show you some live pictures of lawmakers voting right now to get that budget proposal passed so that we can move on, stop issuing these IOUs, and maybe bring an end to Furlough Fridays, which incidentally today is another one of those Furlough Fridays. Don't head to the DMV. They're not open this morning. All right, 5:56 the time. We'll be right back with the latest even on this story. Look at this. Flaming car on the freeway. Everybody's running away except for one Good Samaritan. He pulled a 3-year-old girl out of that burning wreckage. Her mother this morning thanking that man profusely. We'll have more on the story coming up.